Okay, we've got the University of Arkansas head coach Dave Van Horn, accompanied by players Jack Kenley and Matt Cronin. We'll open it up with a statement from the head coach, and then we'll have questions for the players. Coach.
Well, obviously it was a really good win for us. I think that both teams probably feel like they left too many runners out there, and we were fortunate that Jack came up with a really big hit, gave us the lead back after we let it go. Wasn't exactly a real clean game by either team, but I felt like our bullpen came in and did a really nice job, kind of keeping it where it was, and then Matt came in and really got us out of a jam there. I think it was in the top of the eighth, and then the ninth was outstanding. So, good win.
Questions now for the players. Start in the front.
Just hang on over here. I had one for each player. Matt, I mean, we've seen you dominate before, but you really look like you were blowing guys away. How many breaking balls did you throw, and just how does this rank with your performances, do you think?
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun out there. I threw 2 breaking balls, and I think it was the first breaking ball I've thrown for a strike in about 5 weeks, so definitely felt good. I was just having fun out there, trying to pound the strike zone, and it ended up going well for me.
And kind of what's the mindset, when you come in, they got, the tying run on third and the winning runs on 2, and, what's your mindset?
Yeah, I mean, you never know. That could have been the game right there. So you got to come in and got to find a way to get that out without letting anyone score. And I think my preferred way is a strikeout, and I got that.
And Jack, could you describe the at-bat where you got the 2-run single to put you guys ahead, and what the pitch was and what you saw and all that?
Credit to him, he's a very good pitcher. Just kind of knew that I was going to get a fastball at some point, and he kind of hammered me in a little bit. The approach on him would just be to stay away, try to focus on staying up the middle, and got a pitch, middle out or so, fastball, and put it in the gap.
Matt, we saw the bullpen for an extended outing here today. I mean, and it was you guys did a pretty good job out there. How much do you guys feed off each other, and just kind of what's the culture of the bullpen this year?
I mean, we know each one of us has a job to do and a job that we're supposed to get done, and we rely on each other to do what we expect them to do to get it to the next guy. And I think Costi did a great job bouncing back after hitting a guy in the head. I know from experience it's hard to come back and pound the strike zone after that. And so just believing in our guys and knowing that they're going to get it done is one of the big things out there.
Jack, what does Curtis Washington Jr. bring to your team? This guy just seems like he's high energy, great teammate, and just the emotions that he was able to bring out after he scored that run.
Yeah, he's a great kid to be around. Wonderful teammate. He brings in a lot of energy every single day. Just kind of one of those guys you love to have in the ball club. But yeah, he's just a ball of energy, and the way that he was able to get on and be aggressive on the bases like he was and finish with a wonderful slide. But getting us that insurance run was big. But credit to Curtis for being that way all year, not just today.
Hey, for both guys, just getting back on the winning track after losing 3 out of the last 4 for you guys, just how important was that today?
I don't really think that we festered on it very much. We kind of just want to focus on playing our own game. And I think today we're getting close. Obviously, we want to keep getting better as the tournament goes on. But we kind of know that we're a good team, and just executing the way we know how to execute, and trusting our pin, like Matt said. A lot of confidence in each and every one of the guys on our lineup. So we know we got it in us, and nothing really to it.
I think Jack hit that perfectly. I don't know if I really have much to add to that.
For both you guys sort of add to that, I mean, you've blown so many teams out this year. To like to finally sort of play a real close game like this, especially on this stage?
I think a lot of the guys were thankful. Not necessarily having big blowout innings, but it is a hot day. It's wonderful to score a lot of runs, but just a regular game like that is a nail biter, and scoring when you have the opportunity to score is huge. But credit to Ole Miss, a really good team, but we just were able to find holes and put balls in gaps when we had the opportunity.
This is for both players. I was talking to Casey Martin the other day, and he said you guys wanted a chance at Ole Miss because they were the only team to win a series against you all at home this year, and they kind of had Arkansas's number, winning 9 of the last 12. Just kind of, was there any extra satisfaction beating them, or just how'd you feel about that aspect of it?
To me, this felt a lot like playing Florida last year. We went down to their place, got 2 taken away from us, and then we evened up the series and the tournament. And then Ole Miss is a good team. They can make a good run, get to Omaha. It could be just like Florida where we end up having more wins against them in the season. And it's just, to me, that feels like the kind of team we were playing.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss is a really good ball club. Played with a bunch of those guys before, close with a bunch of them. But yeah, it is fun to have the opportunity to get back at some of them. But always enjoy playing them. They're a really good team.
Matt, what did you think of Patrick bouncing back today after kind of struggling his last 2 outings?
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. He still struggled with command at times today, but he fought through it and got us into the 4th inning or something like that. And I think that was just huge for getting our club started off on the right track today.
You guys haven't faced Georgia yet. You get that opportunity tomorrow. Just thoughts on Georgia from what you've seen and playing them for the first time.
Yeah, know they're a good club. Know they got a good pitching staff and they can hit the ball. Haven't really looked at their hitters too much so far, but I'm sure we'll see some video later tonight on them, and just excited to play them.
Yeah, I think when we saw the SEC accolades come out, Cam Shepard, obviously he had a good day today too, and Tally both, just staying up the middle like those guys. That's a really good crew up the middle, and they're a good team everywhere else as well. So really anxious to get out there and put our best against their best.
This is for Jag. I may be hard to answer with Matt sitting right next to you. What did you think of Matt's performance today?
Nothing short of spectacular, to be honest with you. Kind of expected from him. His fastball is electric, and you could kind of see it on the faces of some of those guys that he faced. But locating that one curveball was gross. So as a hitter, being able to come back from that's tough, and Matt was definitely making it hard on him.
Hey, Matt, just to clarify, you throw a slider and curveball or 2 curves, or what were the breaking balls?
I've just been throwing a curveball as of late, work on a slider and a bullpen, but it's nothing for the games right now.
Okay, so it's curveballs.
Anything else for the players? Thank you, guys. You gentlemen can step down. Thank you. All right, questions now for the head coach.
Dave, I know you brought Matt in before to get a 4-out save or maybe more. Just what did you think of his performance today? I mean, he just looked, as dominating as I can remember him looking.
Well, I think that the only hitter he faced in the 8th inning, the best swing he took was his first swing, hit a ball hard down the left field line, and after that, Matt just got after him. What we were really excited to see is that it only took 3 pitches, so we felt good about him going back out. We were going to send him out anyway, but it could have been a 7-pitch at bat or 8. And the other thing was we stayed in the dugout for a while. I got to cool down, and it was nice to score another run. And then the 9th inning, obviously, he struck out the side. He struck out everybody that he faced. So it's one of his best outings ever, and it's a pretty good team. So he went through 1, 2, and 3 in the order, and they can all hit. So I was just happy that he didn't have to throw a lot of pitches, and he had a lot of success. I was really excited to see him drop that curveball in there on the left-handed hitter, because after that happened, you could just see a different demeanor in the body language of the hitter. Like, wow, I thought I was just going to have to sit on fastballs, and now he didn't know what to see. And I think Matt tried to drop another breaking ball in there, and then he threw the fastball right by him.
Coach, I know you kind of touched on it in the beginning, but this game had nearly a little bit of everything. I mean, you look at it, you had the 2-out hit there for an RBI to get the scoring started from Fletcher. Later in the game, as you mentioned earlier, Kenley with the huge hit, 2-run single. But even that 1 inning was kind of weird where the ball just bounces right off of Cops. He's trying to make a play, and I think prior to that, Opitz couldn't find the ball. They're trying to show him where the ball was. So just there was a lot that went into this.
It was a little bit of a strange game, and their second baseman runs by a ball and goes into right field. Hardly got leather on it, and we got some big hits with 2 outs. I mean, we did the damage with 2 outs for the most part, and but yeah, that's what I told the team after the game. I said both coaches, and I said, not going to talk for the other team's coach, but I bet they feel the same way that I feel, that, it wasn't a real pretty game. Feel fortunate to win it. We did just enough, and, we got to continue to play a little bit better.
Did you have that plan to use the pitchers you used today and kind of –
Well, our plan was to do whatever we needed to do to win today. And if we needed to use them all of our bullpen, we'd use them. And, we didn't use Ramage and a couple other guys, but, it just worked out that way.
And then tomorrow facing Georgia for the first time this year, and then do you plan to start Campbell tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll start Campbell tomorrow. I haven't seen Georgia, just watched them a little bit here and there on TV. Looking at their numbers, pitching numbers are incredible, and they field the ball really well. And obviously, they've got some great players. I mean, they won 21 regular season games in league play, 21-9. That's pretty special. And then obviously won today, 1-0, didn't give up a run. So it'll be a good ball game.
Coach, most teams here have been to Omaha more recently than they've won this tournament. Where does the degree of difficulty come from here? Is it just the format, the back-to-back-to-back, the strain on the pitching staff? What makes this tournament so hard?
Well, what makes it so hard is the competition, number one. And then the number two, in my opinion, is that next weekend, not this coming weekend, the next weekend, that's when the regional obviously starts. So you can't, or you shouldn't, in my opinion, again, you can't run your pitching staff in the ground. You can't run your catcher in the ground. You can't wear them out. But you got to try to win games. You got to have some guys step it up. You got to have some guys come out of the bullpen that maybe don't pitch a whole lot and do a good job. Maybe a hitter or two, need to carry you. But you have to have a lot of things happen probably to win this tournament, unless you just have incredible depth. And you just take one game at a time. I think, that's kind of what we did today. We said, hey, we'll do whatever we got to do to win the first one. That'll guarantee us two more. And if we can find a way to win tomorrow, we know we got at least two more games. And hopefully that'll happen.
David, sounds like the players weren't that concerned about having lost last weekend, but were you pleased with the way they came out today after the series loss?
Yes, I was. I mean, I could tell the last couple of days, Monday's practice was a little sluggish. Yesterday's was a lot better. Today, they had energy today at practice. Our whole pregame, we let them wear shorts and T-shirts, and I think they appreciated that. He's trying to take care of them in the heat, and they had energy. I mean, they had fun out there. We worked out for about 45 minutes before we came over here and took ground balls and hit, and it was upbeat. And it wasn't like, you can tell. And I think they were excited to get on the field and play again. And, deep down they were disappointed we didn't win that series, because we kind of gave it away a little bit, especially game 3. We had the lead, and then it was tied, and we get a routine double play ball. It should have been 1-1 going into the 6th. And all of a sudden they scored 3 runs because we don't turn double play. I mean, it was not a good situation. And so, But this team's pretty resilient. They kind of move on, They just get over it. We don't get on them too much. Proud of this team for how they've developed the whole year, A lot of new guys playing every day, different roles, and we never compare this team to last year's team. And people try to get me to, but I won't. It's a different team.
What was different about Patrick today after his struggle in the last 2 starts?
Well, he did throw more strikes today, and we went with him longer. I mean, the other day, threw 30-some pitches, basically through a bullpen. He didn't throw enough strikes. It was ball one all the time. And today was a little bit better. His stuff was pretty good. His changeup was real good. Breaking ball was okay. But then towards the end, he got behind in the count a little bit and made a couple mistakes. And we weren't going to let him go more than 5 anyway. So he almost got us there. And, he basically did stop paying attention to a runner, let him steal third. If he just pays attention to him a little bit. And those are the little things that we're coaching him, we're teaching him, and then you go out and you hope it doesn't happen, next week. We knew he was going to run. We're like, he's getting ready to go. He's got to feel that, see that, give him a little inside move, because he went first movement, and it would have been, he might have finished the game or finished that inning, and he might have got a W next to his name. But after that, it didn't go good, and we had to get him. But he's a good pitcher. He hasn't thrown a ton of innings. He's going to get the ball again in a week, so hopefully he'll continue to get better. He's pitched really good at home, too.
Hey, Dave, what do you think of Phillips, their pitcher? He's a Texarkana kid.
He did a nice job. He really did. We had him on the ropes a couple times, and he got us. We never really put a great swing on him. Even in the first inning, Fletcher just slapped a breaking ball through the 6-hole over there, and Kinley got the big hit. That was one of the harder hit balls off. We didn't hit him that hard. We took advantage of a walk here or hit by pitch, and as they did, and that's what I said. The game wasn't real pretty, but we didn't square him up a whole lot. And his fastball's not overpowering, but he used his changeup well against us.
What did you think of the job Washington kind of manufacturing that run? I mean, a lot of guys maybe get thrown out at third. A lot of guys get thrown out at home, and he was safe both times.
Well, I think that when he went from second to third, I was a little nervous. Yeah. But, he did a great job. Great slide, backside of the bag, and just barely beat it. And obviously at the plate, we had a runner at, I think, first and second. Kinley had 2 strikes on him. Or second and third, Kinley had 2 strikes, and we were going on contact. If it had been hit back to the pitcher, he's gone. So first baseman hesitated just a split second, and, throw wasn't bad, but he got under it. It was, sometimes you have to take a chance and make them make a play, and they didn't quite make it.
Over here to your left.
Dave, yesterday Butch Thompson said every time he thinks this league can't get any tougher, it does. There have been 6 games played in this tournament, none decided by more than 2 runs, and a bunch of them have gone down to the last pitch. Is it possible that this league is better than ever?
Well, I think it's deeper than it's ever been as far as, you look at the pitchers that are in this league this year. I mean, we got a guy that went 10-1, went 7-1 in league play, has an ERA of 2 or under, and he can't even make first or second team. And he's going to probably, he's on the the final 25 watch list for for the Golden Spikes Award, but he can't make all SEC. And it's the league has big time pitching this year throughout the. I mean, there's a couple teams here that they got a guy who's going to go in the first round. They didn't make it. And then the position players to me are older this year. This is an older position player, just depth. And I mean, Ole Miss has an older team, and you could go on. And Vandy's got an older team, and I feel like Georgia does. And so yeah, I feel like it's deeper. It's as deep as I've ever seen it. And it doesn't matter if you were playing a team that was in 6th or 7th place in their division, and you just came off of playing somebody at the top. It really didn't matter. If you didn't play good, you were going to lose. And it's a different animal, and you have to be thick-skinned, and you have to be able to get over things. And I think our guys handled it pretty well.
It had two quickies. Isaiah, what kind of pitch count will he be on tomorrow?
I don't know. I'll tell you tomorrow after the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I know what a big social media guy you are.
Yeah, big.
I saw on social media that you were in the concession line with fans like to get a drink, a Coke. Is that right?
Yeah. Did you need me to get you something?
No. I guess I'm just surprised that they can't bring you. I mean, what was the drink? And
Well, here's no. I'm not going to advertise for anybody. So I was in line because it was the 9th inning, and we just got in here, and I thought I'm going to go get me something to drink. So I've got my drink, and I'm about to pay for it, and all of a sudden the crowd starts screaming and yelling. And the guy says, somebody just hit a home run, the game's over. And I said, well, I'm still going to buy this drink from you, and I took it down, and I had it in the dugout. I enjoyed it, too.
So I'm just surprised that I figured you guys would have whatever you wanted to drink in the dugout. I mean, you have to go buy it?
I get per diem. I can buy a drink. I'm good.
Were the fans interacting with you at all?
I don't know.
Did they
What's the
say,
big
"Hey,
deal?
Dave"?
You're just hanging out with people.
Yeah.
I'm just a person.
You're a man of the people.
I guess.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you, guys. What else, Bob? Anything?